So, in the 5 years I've been living in Armenia, I've learned a lot of unexpected truths about the general Armenian cultural mentality, what it's like to try to collaborate with them, communicate with them, the expectations they set, how difficult it is for them to do anything differently than what they have been told to do for generations. And even if they are smart and open-minded and creative enough to see like how that would work or why that would be a good idea, it still is probably going to be very difficult for them to actually do it, because they'll think, well, what will everyone think of me if I do something different?
Yeah.
Everyone is afraid of being socially isolated constantly, of losing their social support system, of being judged, of being ostracized, because they interpret that the same as dying, basically. Like, I will die if my parents and friends and everyone don't fully, completely accept me, which means I have to be exactly what they expect me to be.
Yes, that's a very important part. Because I feel it, but I never have these verbs for this feeling.
Yeah. Look how much easier it was to get 5 people from other countries to come here. Some Armenians have come here in 5 years, but it's been really difficult. Like, to just drive 2 hours from Yerevan, because it's like, well, where am I going to tell people I'm going all weekend? They'll want to know details. What if they think I've been alone in a man's house? What will my job think? What will my parents think? What will my friends think? It's like, just fucking do it. You're 35. You're not 17. Even if you were, fucking break a rule once in your life. Make a choice. Take a risk.
Oof, I feel your pain.
It's so the opposite of America in the West, where people just do what they want to do, you know, and if they don't know how they're going to do it, they figure out how to do it, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd have a house full of Iranians, but that's who came, right? I opened the doors and that's who showed up. Mostly Iranians, right? So I'll take good, open-minded people wherever I can find them.
Why do you choose Armenia in the beginning?
My grandmother was Armenian. I got citizenship here. I liked it here at first, and I was invited to come live in this village by the people here because they said they wanted my help economically developing the village and educating the children and building up lots of cultural and economic things that, you know, this was before I knew that Armenians can't tell the difference between saying something and doing it. Like, those are two processes. One logically follows the other. But they do the first one, they say the thing, they think about the thing, maybe they even imagine doing the thing, but then they don't do the thing, right?
Most of the time, it's just because if you speak about something, it will be forgotten. You need to remind about this every day, and then it's working.
But they act like they've done it because they talked about it. Like they expect like praise and results because they talked about a thing. And then when someone comes along and says, okay, let's do the thing now. What? The thing that you said you want to do, that you told me to come here and do with you? Let's do that now. What are you talking about? You're scaring me, Gregory. You're making me uncomfortable. Please leave me alone. Yeah. It's the kind of thing that takes a while to notice. Because it's not like how I picture Iran. I haven't been to Iran, but I picture it as a place where it's quite obvious that if you step out of line and say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, people are going to get very, very angry and like maybe stone you to death or arrest you, right? Is that accurate? Is that how Iran is?
Yeah, the government.
Yeah, and there are other countries like that too, right? And Armenia is not like that. Like, you don't see that obvious, visible effect of it, because it's more like, well, just everyone will hate me if I don't say and do the right things. They're not going to stone me to death, but they'll hate me. And that's the same thing as them stoning me to death.
I'm not sure that I get the last idea.
It's an invisible type of social repression. And you only notice it after you've been here long enough to have interacted with some people regularly. You start to see their invisible psychological limits, the lines they won't let themselves cross.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely these things one
Cross what?
this time.
Lines
You
they
have
won't
the
let
rest of mine?
themselves cross.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Thank you.
And what is the lines?
Anything not culturally condoned, socially approved of. Basically the way your parents expect you to live. Which turns into how your peers expect you to live too. After 5 years, the biggest conclusion I've reached is that you really can't do much to change individual people's minds. I've invested years of my life into trying to help exceptional people I saw, like help them realize you don't have to live this way. You don't have to think and act this way. You don't have to limit yourselves to what other people here expect from you, because you're smart, you're creative, you can be outgoing, you can envision a better way to do things. You just need to give yourself permission to do it. And that is really, really difficult to actually
Can you show what surprised me?
Georgian Churchella.
Take a look at
exactly.
Much
this.
better than the Armenian variety.
Thank you.
That's one
Yes,
thing
sir.
the Armenians could learn, how to make a Churchella like the Georgian.
Yes.
Yes, so, because in the end, fear will still be there, right? Even if there's curiosity, even if there's ambition and intelligence, that cultural fear of what will other people think, oh my god, I'm gonna die, is still somewhere in the back of their mind. And so, the strategy now, the plan now, the approach is that the only way to make any kind of meaningful cultural change is to congregate people who already think differently, people who are already free from that cultural mentality, bring them all together, and then subtly influence everyone around them by showing them, hey, there's a different way to do things. Come check it out if you want. Look, you thought there was only one way to live, the way everyone else around you lives. Look, here are some people living another way. They seem happier and more successful. Maybe there's something to the way they're living. Why not check it out? It's that simple.
And what did you get from Armenian culture?
What did I get from it?
Yeah.
Like, how did it help me or benefit me?
No, for me it's like integration is process of exchange. You give something, you get something.
The Armenians are not very eager to have a foreigner like me integrate with their culture.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me, I've tried. I can't even get them to speak the Armenian language with me. It's like they're afraid to.
Mm-hmm.
I've hired teachers who would not speak Armenian with me when their job was explicitly to teach me Armenian.
Mm-hmm.
They got nervous when I said, why the fuck are you still speaking English? I hired you to teach me Armenian, you still speak English. Why are you doing that? Just right now, open your mouth and speak Armenian. Well, that's how they respond. It's like a wall around part of their mind. But it's like I have to stay safe in my Armenian cultural associations, and foreigners aren't allowed in here. This is just my little safe space.
Yeah, this is what I feel as a similar thing with Belarusian people. I think if you came to Belarus, you will have this invisible wall either, and people don't know this about this wall, and they don't see them. No, because for now I feel that I can go for the both sides of this wall, because I know, and this is really huge wall. I don't know, I spent years just to begin to see through this. So on the formal level, yeah, we can chat and it's easy, but on some, I don't know, informal level, it's a huge distance. Yeah, because you live in some vision of the world, and it's really, I don't know, separated. So yeah, I can imagine, and but yeah, it's possible to go through this wall. But yeah, you need to have some really huge interest behind this wall for you to cross this. Or